and welcome to Tall Tips from Short Guys, episode 5. I have to pretend that I can actually hear that music because I'm not wearing my headphones right now. But thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sean Scott. I am joined today by producer Pearson Sturdivant. So thank you.
Hey, guys.
You can't tell he's not a short guy, but Tall Tips will not be coming from him today. So thank you so much for taking the time. If you have questions or comments, we see there's a bunch of people watching already, so thank you for joining us right now. We will be recording a few episodes today. We'll be uploading them to your favorite podcasting service. Right now, we're still waiting for Apple and Google to accept us. It takes about 10 days to get through. They're a little picky. So right now, we're on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher,
Castbox,
Deezer, and Spreaker.
Yep.
And then all the video that we're going to shoot will go on Patreon. So if you want to support what we are doing in educating people, giving people tips for living a better life, you can go to patreon.com/tall tips from short guys. Patreon is spelled Patreon. Today, we are going to be talking about rejection and the fear of rejection. And it's played a huge role in my life as a short guy, being rejected by either people or for employment opportunities or for athletic opportunities. Not many professional sports or really super athletic sports like football. You know, you can't really play. You can't be part of a team when you're vertically challenged. So I've had to deal with that, and it doesn't. Well, I shouldn't say this, but a lot of people will tell you that it does not get any easier, and I'm here to tell you that it gets a lot easier. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, because there are I learned an extremely fun, unique activity that you can do to get over the fear of rejection. And it is really amazing. So there is, I watched a TED Talk the other day from this gentleman from China. His name is Jia Zhang, and he, worked for a Fortune 500 company as a marketing executive. But he tells a very interesting story about how he wanted to build a company that would buy Microsoft when he was young. I mean, that was like really big aspirations. Obviously, that didn't happen. But that his goal was to be this, superb entrepreneur. But he had this amazing fear of rejection that stemmed out of this incident when he was very young. And in his elementary school class, the teacher bought a whole bunch of gifts. But to get a gift, you had to go up and compliment someone. So it got down to the bottom 3, and no one had complimented him. And the 3 kids were just sitting there, and they were just destroyed because no one complimented them. And then the teacher reached out to the class, and they said, well, does anyone want to compliment the 3 kids remaining? And they said no. And the teacher said, fine, we'll just go up and get your presents. So they still got their gift, but it was incredibly difficult for them to have to go through this type of rejection. And it stuck with him his whole life. This happened when he was 6 years old. It was in first grade, and it really stuck with him. So the tip that I have, if you're not in sales, if you're in sales, you're gonna come across rejection all the time. If you are not in sales, then there's a few things you can do. And his website is called rejectiontherapy.com, and I highly recommend it. You can go and beta test his app that's out right now, and it's not a plug. We get nothing from doing that other than it's a cool thing that he does. But he went through 100 days of rejection, and I have started doing this. And let me tell you, even in sales, it is just incredibly powerful stuff to do. So what he did is he just went up and made very silly requests from strangers. Very silly requests. He had one where he walked up to a security guard in the building and asked to borrow $100. He didn't know this guy from anyone. He just says, hey, can I borrow $100? And the goal was to get a no. His literal goal was to get a no, but you'd be surprised out of the 100 days that he did this, how many yeses he got. Just because, if you come off as approachable and nice and everything, that people will genuinely want to do things for you. He went into a Krispy Kreme and said, hey, can I get 5 donuts made to look like the Olympic rings with the colors on them? And the manager, she thought it was such a strange, odd, but fun request that she actually did it. So they couldn't make them the way, interlocking like he wanted them, but she basically made 3 regular donuts and colored them the color of the top 3 Olympic rings, and then the bottom one she made 2 half donuts and kind of attached them to the bottom. And then she didn't charge him, which was amazing. It was just really cool that this was only his second day. He was not expecting anything like this. No, his third day. So the goal is to take the sting away from rejection, and to take the sting away is just to absorb, just to immerse yourself in it. He did something that I want to try, and I may even try this later today when I'm driving. But he went into a fast food restaurant. I'm not really sure which one, and he asked for a refill of his burger. He literally went and asked for a refill, and they said, "Wait, I'm not quite sure I understand. You mean like if you drink?" I'm like, "No, I like your burger so much. I was just wondering if you offer a refill." And of course, the guy said no. And I was like, it's just a way to reward your customers. It's just so good, and you could tell people that you do burger refills. And the guy said, I'll talk to the manager about it, but obviously nothing was done. But I just thought that was super interesting. He went and went to this area. He was living in Austin, Texas, and he went to this random guy's house wearing a full soccer uniform and said, "Hey, can I play soccer in your backyard for 15 minutes?" And the guy looks at him and he's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, it's just, you look like you have a really nice backyard, and I've always just wanted to play soccer in a backyard like this. And the guy said yes. And in the interview afterwards, because he did all this on YouTube, and in the interview afterwards, he said, "Why did you allow me to play soccer in your backyard?" And he says, "It was just such a weird request, and it wasn't hurting anybody, so I just let you do it." You'd be surprised at the reaction that you're going to get when you come across as very genuine in your request. Sometimes it's harder to say no. It's easier to say yes to something when it's not that big of a deal. So my tip for you, from someone who's short, tall tips from a short guy. If you have a fear of rejection, whether it's dating, whether it's in sales, whether it's just for asking for something that you just think that you want or should have, practice first. Practice getting to the no. I mean, really going for the no, because that's what it is. It's trying to get so many no's, and then the yes is going to feel so good, and the no's are going to sting a lot less. I'm gonna try this coming up. I just want to find creative ways to get to know. On his website, there is like a card game, and this whole thing of rejection therapy was based on a Canadian scientist, a Canadian psychologist, and they kind of made a card game out of it, almost like Cards Against Humanity, but it's basically all these challenges are on cards. And there's some that are for entrepreneurs. There's some called the blue pill. And the blue pill is not what you're thinking before you go that way. It's not like that. It's more like the Matrix, the red pill or the blue pill. But the whole point is that there's certain things in your personal life or in your professional life, and these cards that give you a good suggestion. And also on his website, it shows every single video and a link to it on YouTube of the ways that he found rejection. The last one, he really wanted to meet President Obama, because all this was done from 2012 to 2013, 14. So he wanted to meet President Obama. So everywhere he went, he brought a sign that says, "Mr. President, will you meet with me?" And I thought that was pretty cool. And I don't know if he ever met with him, because they don't show any videos with him and the president at the time. So I'd be really curious to see if he ever ended up meeting with President Obama. I think that'd be pretty cool. So if you are watching right now, or if you watch this later, my challenge to you and to put this tip into practice would be go out there and find a situation you're very uncomfortable with. And just go out there and ask for something. If you are, there's the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And it's very true, because when you think about it, the whole point is if you want the attention, if you want something, you can't be afraid to ask for it. And a lot of the fear of rejection is just you're going to feel less than 100% if you get turned down, but you get so many no's until your first yes. I mean, that's just how you have to look at it. So, if you're interviewing for a job, there's no, for me, without being annoying, I mean, you can't, hey, I really like this job, but you can't be to the point where, you're emailing and calling all the time and really trying to kind of force yourself on the person who's making that decision. Yet at the same time, just say, hey, I feel like I would be a really good candidate for this position, and I think that we should move this to the next step if that's what you would agree upon. So you can ask for what you want in a non-forceful and a non-confrontational way. I think when people feel like their back's up against the wall, their tendency is just to kind of deflect, and they don't want to really listen to what you have to say and not give you what you want, because it comes off as pushy. And when you deal with someone who's pushy and who's a little abrasive, you don't really want to give them what they're asking for. So it's very easy to say no. So, in a professional sense, if you're looking, I mean, even on an entry-level position, and you're interviewing with someone at Target or McDonald's or wherever you're trying to work, hey, I think I'd be a really good position. Is this something that we can pursue? And then, they're going to give you an answer right away. And really, and if they say no, you're going to move on to the next opportunity. And the next opportunity is probably something that's going to be even better. I, in my current non-broadcast career, work in educational software sales, and I'm always looking for the next opportunity to educate myself, to assist the company. I'm always looking for a higher elevated position with them because I want to be of more assistance to the company that I work for. So I've applied for 3 different positions, and 2 cases they said no. In one case, they just kind of folded up the position entirely and didn't offer it to anyone. It wasn't a me thing. It was just they really didn't need it. And the lessons that you learn are, look, just keep doing your job. Keep showing that you are worthy of the attention that you're looking for. You're worthy of something that you're going to get. And then just go out and keep asking for it. Just keep asking, keep at it. Keep doing what you need to do to show that you are deserving of these opportunities. And everything will start happening. You're going to see that the no's sting a lot less. I'm still going to try that burger refill, though. I'm going to try the Whataburger because that green chili double, let's face it, the green chili double is just pretty amazing. We're going to be filming and recording a few more shows today. I know we only have a couple minutes left. So my tip for you is to go out and ask for things that are extraordinarily ridiculous in an effort to have things feel so you don't feel as much pain when you get the no. So if there's any single women watching right now, I'm asking you out. And then when you watch, you can just go ahead and reply to the feed or just go ahead and text me. And if you say no, I'm not going to be offended. I may cry a little bit, but I'm not going to be offended by it. And I'm going to keep trying. But we're going to have a few other topics coming up here today. If you have anything, feel free to send me a Facebook message or a text if you know me. If there's something that you're going through right now that you kind of want me to talk about and help you through from a non-6-foot perspective, obviously. I'm happy to assist where it's wanted. I mean, like if you really want me to talk about something, that's the whole thing about Facebook and social media and these podcast platforms is that they're very interactive, and it's fun to do this kind of thing. So anyways, we are running up on time. So stay tuned. I will not preview the next topic because I think we're going to leave it as a surprise for next time. Again, find us on Facebook on Spreaker, which is like speaker with an extra R right there. Find us on patreon.com/tall tips from short guys, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, something with a D in there. Deezer. Yes, I knew that. So find us on all those platforms. Find us on Facebook on the Tall Tips from Short Guys Facebook page. We will see you next time.